You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Hi guys, welcome on in. We have another jam-packed episode of No Filter. It is Thursday, Tipsy Thursday, whatever you're doing this weekend. Hopefully you've recovered from Thanksgiving because it's been a week since then. I know I've fully recovered. I'm back in the gym. I'm like tearing it up, sweating my ass off and just living life. Today we're going to chat about Salt Lake City. We're going to chat a bit about Beverly Hills and this like Kathy Hilton Christmas party that seems to be lighting the internet on fire. So here to help me is a Housewives aficionado. He's got an all-new podcast. Please welcome to No Filter for the first time, Gibson Johns.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. I know you just got the new podcast launched. Congrats.
Yes, it's called Gabbing with Gib.
Gabbing with Gib.
Similar, one interview a week. We talk about pop culture topics. Not every day like you. Maybe I'll work my way up that way. But no, it's been really fun, and I've got a lot of support. So anybody listening here or watching here who wants to go check it out, we've had Larsa on, we've had Julia from Miami on, Leva from Southern Charm. It's been a great kind of roundup of guests so far, and I'm excited to keep it going.
Yeah, and you're killing it on Twitter. You're always spilling that tea on the Twitter.
Always. Too much.
I know. Do you get in trouble on Twitter for all your hot takes?
Honestly, not as much as I probably should. I try to, wait even just half a beat before I send something out on there, but it's easier said than done, especially when you're live tweeting a show. But no, I honestly, not too much. Sometimes there have been a couple times over the years where people have been like, I saw you tweeted something about me, but I try to keep it relatively friendly, if not just, constructive, at least. Constructive is the word I'd use.
Have you had any crazy housewife interactions based off of some of those opinions?
No, I mean, there was at BravoCon last year, I kind of went into it. I had just interviewed Giselle from Potomac. I think the season was either just premiering or kind of had just started. And she was coming down the red carpet, and so a lot of the times, if you know the people, they'll wave to you. It'll be like, oh, I can't wait to come down and talk to you. And she kind of wasn't doing that yet. And I was like, okay, did I say something about her in the first couple episodes? Because that's sort of where my mind goes always. Yeah. And she gets to me and she's like, Gibson, I have something to ask you about. You tweeted something about me. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what did I say? But it was actually, I guess it was a sort of a lengthy tweet. And she asked me to explain what I was saying about her. And she thought it was bad, but it wasn't. It was when in the premiere of Potomac last year, when at that party, she just sort of went right up to Mia and asked if she had cancer. And I actually was applauding her willingness to just kind of cut through the bullshit and ask a question. And I respect the hell out of Giselle for the way that she is in that way. She is confrontational in the best sense of the word. And she wanted me to explain that. And so, and Giselle, I respect, she'll cut through the bullshit. She asked me before I even started the interview with her, she was like, I need to know if you were talking shit. No, I haven't really had people, be upset with me over that, at least not openly.
Yeah. Oh my God. So are you liking the new season of Potomac? I feel like it's dragging a bit for me.
I'm not. It's already dragging, which is tough.
Yeah.
I sensed at BravoCon that the divide is I always liked about Potomac is that, they could have their ups and downs, but always come back from them. I feel like over the years, that's what made them really great. And they could always just cut through it with humor. But I think we've gotten past that point. The divide is too deep. It's kind of going the Jersey route. It's kind of going the route of are we going to have two panels next year? It just feels like they don't even want to give each other the time of day. And I don't even want to place, I don't even know whose fault it is, but they don't want to engage with each other at all to the point where it just makes for bad TV. And it's, Karen, this past episode, when she hosted the pickleball thing and forced them to be on the court together, it was that is somebody who was doing their job correctly and trying to force people to get past it. Because the context, I feel like the subtext there was let's do this for the sake of the show, because it's not going in the right direction.
I mean, and Karen knows, she's been on since day one. She knows when it's time to just let the mouse go and move on.
Exactly, and I wish Giselle and Robin would be more willing to do that with Wendy and Candace, but I feel like it's kind of mutual at this point, which makes it tough.
Yeah. Are you liking Salt Lake City this season?
Loving Salt Lake City. I
It's.
feel like it's their best season. I think it's the best season yet.
Have you heard about what this bombshell is that's coming in Bermuda?
I have heard whiffs and hints, but
Same.
I feel like, I'd heard, like somebody told me this is what it is. And then the lawsuit stuff came out about Heather and Monica. And I was like, okay, but then, and it wasn't, that was not what I was told.
Yeah.
But but what I was told must relate back to that somehow.
Yeah.
It all must tie together, but I have not connected the dots fully. But yeah, I've gotten some little hints and tips about what it is.
I've gotten pieces. I kind of
Yeah.
think I do have a theory that I haven't revealed yet that I think may sort of make sense with what I've heard, but then I'm still trying to figure out how it does tie into the lawsuits and the Heather of it all. Because now I just saw that the beauty lab has DMs of Monica talking to the esthetician that did the injections on her and talking about how, like, oh my God, I love these. Look at my lips. They look so good. Here's a photo. And they're like months of Monica raving the work. So I feel like her countersuit is going to get thrown out at this point because she doesn't have a suit. And my other theory is that Beauty Lab and Laser doesn't care if they lose $2,000. They have plenty of clients that come in that don't pay their tabs. Like, they're going to lose more than $2,000 pursuing this in court. So this has to be like a personal, we want to stick it to Monica. Like, there's a reason we're trying to stick it to her. So I'm thinking it's personal for Heather.
It's personal, and also it's like at this point now there are millions of people who have heard about this lawsuit who are like, wait, if I'm ever in Salt Lake, and do I even want to go to Beauty Lab? It's a reputation thing. I feel like at this point, which is, and Heather's reputation is kind of intrinsic to the Beauty Lab and Laser reputation. To me, it's that's what it's about. It's an image thing.
But nobody would have known about this had Beauty Lab and Laser not first filed the suit against Monica.
Right. You're right.
The countersuit came after.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. But it's like, the whole thing is, I agree it connects, but I haven't, my brain's not connecting them yet.
I haven't been able to fully piece it together yet either. But
which is why I have not spoken publicly about it, because I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah. And I also just like the fun of we don't know what's coming. This isn't like a Beverly Hills leak where all the details of what's going to happen. Like, we actually get to go into this kind of blind and be like, what is this big bombshell? And then we get, as the audience, get to be a bit shocked.
Right. And I kind of loved the timing of when that lawsuit stuff came out, because it was before the reunion taped, but after the season had taped and sort of after BravoCon. So I like that it was something new and fresh for them to address in the reunion together, but not in the season. And I feel like this season of Salt Lake was such a pleasant surprise, not only because of the Jen Shaw factor being taken out, but also because we weren't hearing that much comparatively while they were filming, which was new, I think, for Salt Lake. So a lot of times things had leaked out, especially with the Jen stuff. And so for it to deliver such a great season, with us having not really known that much about it going into it, it to me is adding to that sort of allure of this being such a great hit.
I agree. I think it's a good season of Salt Lake. I was a little worried without Jen Shaw. I love it. Did you see she's now doing workout classes and beauty tutorials?
Don't you mean Jen Fonda?
Jen Fonda. She's doing beauty tutorials in prison. I'm like, what? This woman is something else.
Oh my God, her publicist is working overtime to keeping her in the headlines.
Is she still doing her diary on her website?
Girl, I don't know. You think I subscribe to that? Please. Scammers stay scamming. And honestly, it's hilarious because I feel like every headline we get of her now is somehow attached to Elizabeth Holmes, because her publicist knows that that is what will actually get her in the press. It's just hilarious. Who knows if she's actually taken her ab class, but I'm living for it, honestly.
Are you enjoying Beverly Hills this season?
I am. I'm cautiously optimistic about the rest of the season, I feel. Now that we've had the introduction of Morgan Wade, it's sort of okay, is this what it's going to be about for the rest of the time? I'm curious to see. I don't know. I'm enjoying it, and I actually loved the Vegas trip. I loved how it was kind of a bottle episode about Sutton and her reaction to Magic Mike. It kind of didn't relate to anything else, but I kind of loved that.
Yeah.
We've already had some iconic moments. I mean, Name 'em is obviously instant, an instant meme. I love it. it's not hitting in the same way as maybe the past 2 or 3 seasons have yet, but like I'm enjoying it. What about you?
I'm enjoying it too. I think it's a good season. I was, again, a little worried because we didn't have Rinna this season, and I was worried
Hmm.
about who was going to show up and kind of take on that role. I think Sutton's going to have a really rough season. But I mean, everybody,
Hmm.
it turns on everyone at some point, and I just think this is Sutton's turn to sit in the seat. But I'm enjoying Beverly Hills. What did you think of Morgan Wade's introduction this week? Because we finally get Morgan in the tattoo scene. I was like,
Hmm.
what? Like, let's be honest. Like, what is happening here? Because I was sensing chemistry and I was seeing how Kyle would light
You're
up and
not
get
the only
super
one.
giddy. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, that was honestly that's the immediate takeaway from that introduction scene. It's that they have a chemistry. Whether that is romantic or not, who knows? According to her, according to them, it's not. But like, it's funny because there's what they're saying is everyone thinks our friendship is weird. Nobody gets our relationship, yada yada yada. But like, they're like hitting each other's arm and like there's a gleam in Kyle's eye looking at Morgan. It's like
Yeah,
there's this one shot of her sort of in the sunlight and she's like looking at Morgan and it's like, whoa. It's hard to ignore. It really is.
it is. Like, some people are like, no, it's just awkward. I'm like, no, it's like awkward from like an outsider, like, like observing that. Like, imagine
She's
being
like,
in
should we be
person.
watching this?
Yeah, like awkward from that sense, but not awkward in the sense that like they don't have chemistry. Like, the chemistry is clear. You can see that there is like just the way Kyle looks at her and the spark, the
Yeah.
light up that she has on her face. Like, yeah, nobody understands your friendship because there's more to it than just a friendship. And that's
It's also
obvious.
funny. It's also funny because like they made sure to say, "Oh yeah, Mo didn't know how many tattoos I have. Like that's how disconnected we are." And then Morgan obviously knew the number of tattoos that Kyle had. We had to see that. She knows Kyle better than anybody right now. Like they made sure that we saw that
Well,
little
and
comparison.
And in the difference there in that original scene with Mo, Kyle's response to Mo was, maybe you need to pay attention more to my body to notice my 5 tattoos. I think Morgan Wade has been paying a lot of attention to Kyle's body.
Zach, you said it. No, it's interesting because it's sort of like this whole thing. I have not, landed on what they're going for. I have not landed on like, are we working up to some big reveal that's happening on camera when they pick the cameras back up at the end of the season? Is it just, are they always just going to maintain that it's a friendship? Is this just like a long lead up to something? Because on Watch What Happens Live at the beginning of the season, she was like, no, we are friends. We are friends. We are friends. And if they are not more than friends, she's just going to kind of look foolish for denying it for so long if there's going to be a reveal down the road. I don't know. What do you think she's like going for here?
Maybe they are a bit in denial. Like, maybe there is chemistry and there is connection, and maybe they've danced on the line, but they're not really
Mm,
willing to lean all in, especially because she technically is still working on things with Mauricio, even though it's really hard. Like, at this, like, make a
right.
decision. Like, shit or get off the pot. But I think with Morgan, like, I think they've danced on the line a bit. I think it's like, how do you not, when you become that close? She tries to compare it to, like, oh, well, I have matching tattoos with Teddy. It's like, yes, but Teddy's a different situation, and you knew Teddy a lot more. Like, you just met Morgan Wade last year, and she's what, 28? Like, it's weird.
And she's the one who initiated it through Instagram. I mean, as Morgan said in the show, like she stalked her basically. Like
Yeah.
it's her. Kyle and Teddy never had this dynamic, so it's this is distinctly different. The
Yes.
vibes of this,
There wasn't a pursuit. Whereas Morgan even says, or Kyle even says in that scene, they're like, and then she posted the music on her Instagram stories, and Kyle's like, I was trying to get her attention. It's like, well, you know, it's just
why?
exactly. I don't know. It's interesting. And then the
Yeah,
music
and
video.
oh my god, the music video. Not to mention, I was just going to bring that up. It's sort of like with. I felt like I think I wasn't the only one who felt that we were all being trolled in some capacity, but or maybe they just like are so in it. Maybe they're just so in this little bubble together that they had no perspective on how it was going to be taken. I don't know. It's just,
Well, because
gosh,
Dorit said at BravoCon that before the rumors even really started to circulate, that the video was filmed a long time ago.
right?
So What was like? What did they
I
like?
forgot
What
that.
were the optics? Like, I don't understand it.
And maybe she doesn't care about the optics, but I feel like that goes against the Kyle that we know, who
Yeah.
does kind of care about how things look and how things are perceived by the public. Like I feel like almost every time she's on Watch What Happens Live, she's very eager to set the record straight on something. And so for her to kind of change her tune, I guess she's changing her tune on a lot of things these days, like within her marriage and stuff. But like, it doesn't feel like it's in tune with the person that we've known for 13 years necessarily.
I agree. And even when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she was kind of specific about the wording. And I didn't catch it initially until people started to bring it to my attention in the comments that, like, she would say things like, she wouldn't say that, oh, we're just friends. She would say, Morgan is one of my closest friends. Like, you can still be scissoring with
Oh,
one of your closest friends, you know? Like, listen, things happen.
Zach,
Things happen with your friends. I'm sure. Have you not had a
that's
friend
true.
where you've had good connections and chemistry, and the next thing you know it, one thing leads to another, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Listen, shit happens.
Shit
Absolutely. You are so
happens.
right. Yes. Shit and more stuff also happens. But it's like it
Complicated.
happens.
Yes. Yes. All right, I just want to take a quick little break because it is the holiday season. And if you want to hear, where'd you get that this holiday season? Uncommon Goods is your secret weapon. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. Whether you're shopping for your Secret Santa or your entire family, Uncommon Goods knows exactly what they want. They have you covered, so you want to make sure that you're an expert gift giver. So check out Uncommon Goods. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US, and they have the most meaningful out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. So go. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/nofilter. That's uncommongoods.com/nofilter for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. And also, I just want to let you guys know that this episode is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Do you ever find that just as you're trying to fall asleep, your brain suddenly won't stop talking? Do your thoughts start racing right before bed or at other inopportune moments? I remember all the stressful moments I had this year, and turns out one of the best ways to get through feeling overwhelmed is to talk through them. Therapy gives you a place to do just that, so you can get out of your negative thought cycle and find some mental and emotional peace. If you're going to start therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/nofilter today to get 10% off your first month. That's 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/nofilter. Okay, let's talk about Kathy's Christmas party.
Yeah.
Because that, I feel like, is getting a lot of people fired up because there were so many Bravo Lebs. It was like a mini Christmas BravoCon.
Yeah. It was a direct TV event. I guess she had a direct TV event before BravoCon last year. So I
Yeah.
guess that she must have some where a bunch of they were that's where they did like the conga line, remember?
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where it's like I feel like usually you kind of know a party like this is about to happen or something, but like this
Yeah, no, this came out of
completely
left
came out of
field.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Completely kind of nowhere. It was an interesting mix of people though, and there's some great little clips that have popped up from the red carpet, especially.
Yeah, well, I saw the clip of her saying that she and Lisa Rinna have squashed the beef. That
Yes.
Lisa apologized to her, sent her a big bouquet of flowers, and then Kathy called her. They talked for what she said, like 20 minutes, and like things between them are all good, which is
That's
nice.
great. I mean, that's nice. I felt like that was never going to happen. But like
Yeah.
even just even just that there's a video of Kathy and Rick posing for the photographers and Mary Cosby just like walks onto the carpet
Oh
and
my
she's
God.
like isn't sure if she should like approach or not, and Kathy like does a little hand motion and it's hard to tell if she's like come here or like go away. It's hard to tell which direction the hand is moving in. Mary and Kyle met for the first time at this party. You
Yeah.
know, Meredith reenacted some of her iconic lines. Like it was kind of just like a chaotic little
It
event.
it was. It was. No, it was a good mix of people. I saw Crystal hosted an after party at her house afterwards.
Yep.
So I think, I was like, why did I not get an invite to this party?
I thought the Crystal after party was interesting. It was kind of like a Where's Waldo of it was like this big group picture that she posted. And it was from behind the bar, and it was like a Where's Waldo of like Bravo celebrities and like random other people there. And it was interesting seeing who was in her basement after that party. It was like Meredith and Larsa and Marcus and Dixie D'Amelio was there. But it was
Yeah,
interesting is that somebody pointed out was that there were no Beverly Hills
I
housewives.
know. None of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, which is
Interesting.
noted.
I wonder if Crystal's even on good terms with any of them.
I mean, I don't know what she would have with like Garcelle but like Garcelle wasn't at that party, I guess. Was it just Kyle, Kathy, Crystal? Which other Beverly Hills housewives were at Kathy's? Any?
I didn't see Garcelle or Erica. I didn't
Yeah,
see Sutton. I didn't see
Dorit was
Dorit.
not there. Yeah,
No.
that might be it. Interesting. Hmm.
Well, I don't know. I didn't even see, other than Kim, I didn't
We
even see any of the other ones that she had
right,
filmed with either. I mean, maybe it
right.
was
Well,
just like a last minute sort of party.
I think it was kind of like a big sponsor thing. I mean, like, why else is like Olivia from Southern Charm flying out to LA to do that? I guess she's actually doing, I think, Vile Files, but like it's kind of like some of these people came from out of town for it, so I think they knew about it. But I just think it's notable that none of the other Beverly Hills people were really making the effort to come.
We did get some Orange County news. We saw that Heather Dubrow is returning for the new season, and apparently Taylor Armstrong is not returning for the new season.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, Heather's coming back.
Huh.
She's confirmed her orange for next season, and Taylor's
Thank
out.
God.
Taylor is not
I,
returning. I don't. I felt like she
you
had
know,
an opportunity and she kind of missed the mark.
yeah, I kind of I'm not really I'm kind of indifferent to that news about Taylor. I think that she was a fine friend of. I don't think that she was essential by any means. I think that she kind of showed us some like really quirky moments and really some quirky sides to her, but I don't think that other than that thing with Heather and like the IMDb stuff, I was just sort of like, eh, this is a nice experiment to bring her over to OC, but I wouldn't have been upset if she came back, but also maybe we
She's
can
not
get
really.
another new friend up or something.
Yeah, she's not really necessary to the formula. But we did have Alexis
Definitely
Bellino.
not.
Alexis Bellino was also at Kathy Hilton's party.
Hmm.
And I feel like she's popping up around a lot. We saw her at
She is.
BravoCon. She's been dating or out with John Jansen. I feel like she's lobbying to get an orange back.
I mean, at the very least, bring her back as a friend of and see
Yeah.
what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. And I think that she had that great moment at BravoCon that I think honestly endeared her to a lot of people again. And like, I was just sort of
Hmm.
like, why not? If Taylor's spot's open, give it to Alexis.
I agree. Give it to Jesus Jugs. Because I feel like, because Shannon was also like ranting. Wasn't there a rumor that Shannon was ranting about her the night that she got her DUI? So
Yes.
maybe there's been something that's been going on between Alexis and John Jansen because he likes them Jesus Jugs. He's worshiping her every night on his knees praying. But I feel like that would be an interesting dynamic to see
Oh,
Shannon
yeah.
and Alexis, especially now that it is a lot more public. I think Bravo and Cocktails posted a photo of them on another date together. So, I mean, I'm kind of here for this Shannon versus Alexis. Heather seems
Me
to be
too.
friendly with Alexis.
I'd be here for it. I think when you bring somebody back, there should be sort of like a reason or a point of intrigue for bringing that person back.
Yeah.
And that you just mapped it out. I think that is a great dynamic to explore. Like why not?
Do you think we should bring back Mary to Salt Lake next year?
So the Mary stuff is interesting because to me it's pretty clear that so during filming there was those rumors that she had dropped out of
Yeah.
filming. But we're seeing these like one-on-one scenes at our house every week, just one per week. And to me it's very clear that those were filmed after the fact. Those are pickup scenes because she
wasn't
maybe
there.
changed her mind
Well,
or she wanted to.
She said it on the carpet at Kathy's. She said
Oh,
that
did she? What did she say?
she's like, oh, I just finished filming my scenes 5 weeks ago. She said all after, I think maybe it was after Palm Springs or something. She's like, yeah, after that, production stopped inviting me to things. They just stopped calling me, and I wasn't even invited to the cast trip to Bermuda. So she's like, I didn't, because I think the question was, why weren't you at Meredith's jewelry launch
Right.
party? And she's just like, well, because I wasn't invited. She's like, production stopped calling me. So now, though, we're seeing that production has
It's
called her
interesting.
back.
That's really interesting because she clearly like she was not playing ball. I thought it was hilarious watching her in little bits and moments, like not really give a fuck about everything. But like she was not playing ball in production. Clearly was annoyed about it. But like she probably was playing too much with fire, didn't realize so. So, I mean, I'm glad that she's still into it. I read her dropping out of filming as being like not into the whole process anymore, which like she probably isn't. But it's funny to seeing these pickup scenes that again were clearly filmed 5 weeks ago and just dropped in because they're not like talking about anything specific. They're just talking about like relationships in the group when they go to Mary's house. I think she works as a friend of to me. I think that like I know a lot of people think that she's just like mean and doesn't bring anything positive. But I laugh when Mary's on screen personally, and I find her enjoyable.
Yeah, she's not a great human being, but she's a great reality star. She's funny. She's quirky. It was interesting even watching her this week sit down with Monica and kind of be like this mother goose figure where she's kind of like, trying to help her through her issues with Lisa. I mean, again,
Yeah,
also weird considering we now know she revealed that this was filmed just 5 weeks ago or whatever scenes are coming up were filmed very recently after the season had wrapped. So, yeah, but and now she's at the reunion.
and now she's at the reunion. I heard somewhere that the last 4 episodes of this season are all in Bermuda though, so I don't know what she would have filmed that's going to be dropped in somehow, unless she's like filming with her son around her house or something. I don't know, but I saw on Twitter that'll be just 4 episodes left, and they're all going to be on the trip. So I
Maybe
don't know if we're going to see her again on this
maybe
season.
it's like a final coming back from Bermuda debriefing the information that we
Right.
discovered sort of clip. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like they did that last year when Jen changed her plea. So, I like Mary. Again, I know why people don't, but like to me, like you said, all reality stars don't need to be good people. As long as I find them compelling to watch on TV, I'm down to watch them on TV. And so that's my feeling on Mary right now.
I agree. Are you ready for the return of Southern Charm? Do you think the rest of this season is going to be good, or do you feel like we got all the meat out at the first half?
With like the Taylor Austin
Yeah.
Olivia. Oh my God, no, I think this is Southern Charm's best season in like three
Yeah,
to four
I
years.
agree.
I think it's proven that I think Olivia's leveled up this year just in terms of like, obviously there's the whole thing with Austin and Taylor, but like also I think the openness and the like raw emotion that she showed around her brother's death, I think was like incredibly compelling and impressive the way that she was open about that whole thing. And like, she's just showed, I have really fallen in love with Olivia this year. I think she's kind of proven to be a star. Taylor, it's interesting. I think it's interesting because she dated into this whole thing, and to me, I think through this whole, she's kind of gotten blamed for the whole situation, which like, whether that's fair or not, like it's up to I think interpretation. But like, she's proven that she's not necessarily fully built for this whole thing. I think
Yeah.
it's at BravoCon, she kind of felt like a shell of herself, and it was kind of hard to watch, honestly. But I love this season itself. Like, I think it's great. It's entertaining. I think the cast is like genuinely connected at this point. Like for a couple seasons, it felt really disjointed, but like Madison's clocking in.
Ugh,
You know,
love Madison.
like Lev is a good connector. People open up to her. I think Craig has like shown a lot of growth. Honestly, I'm loving Craig this year. I don't know. Maybe just I have a soft spot in my heart for for Southern Charm, but I
No,
love it.
I agree. I think this is a great season. My only concern is we already got so much of like the drama
Yeah,
and the heat and everything at the top of the season that I'm worried about what we're gonna get. Like, are we gonna get more of these dinners that Patricia's gonna host that really are just kind
yeah.
of
Eye
boring and
roll.
lackluster just to kind of keep the season going? And then we get like a breadcrumb where Austin's like, oh, this is how it happened.
Yeah,
She made the first move or whatever it was.
right. Well, I think they go on a trip, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Right? They go on a trip. So hope. I mean, I feel like they usually deliver a pretty messy, good cast trip. So
Yeah.
if maybe we don't get that much more tea about the whole situation, but I think it's going to be worth it because I kind of feel like this reunion is going to be kind of a blockbuster reunion because at BravoCon, they were clearly told not to get into it too much, but Austin couldn't really help himself when during an audience Q&A, and like he kind of started to get into it. And there's clearly a lot that they are all trying to get off their chest that like did not make it to the show, I think. So I think the reunion for Southern Charm it's going to be worth the wait if we have to kind of get through like a whatever back half of the season.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm hoping I was a little concerned again because we didn't have Catherine. We had so many cast, like big major cast drops with all these shows, but they're showing that they can actually, the only one that hasn't had a big cast drop was Potomac, and that sucks.
And I actually think that I agree about the Catherine stuff. And I think that I was concerned, but in hindsight, now that we're seeing how the season is playing out without her, I actually think that she was kind of holding some people back. I think that there was always this Catherine X factor that had to be like dealt with, and, Craig was kind of like an older brother, like looking out for her. I think Olivia sort of was protective of her too, because they were friends. And I think taking her out of that equation, just like it kind of opens it up a little bit. There's not this like kind of other thing that we have to worry about on the side. And I think that it's resulted in a much better season. So I agree. I was worried about the Catherine thing, but.
Are you ready for Vanderpump to come back next week? Next month, January.
I'm ready, but I'm ready, but I am, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, but I feel like they were just at such a high, and there's only one way to go when you're at such a high, and like, and I just don't know what the appetite is for like seeing the aftermath of Scandal at this point, and it's obviously going to be a huge part of the season, and there are certain things that I'm really looking forward to seeing, but if the whole season is about the fallout from Scandal 5 months ago, I don't know how excited that's going to make people feel.
It may be exciting for like a minute, but not for an entire 2 to 3 month season where we're just continuing to watch, because we kind of know where everybody's at now, and Scandal happened almost a year ago in terms of when this is going to be airing, and everybody was so invested in Scandal that it's like, can we really, like, is there really going to be much more to the story that we're going to be invested in at this point?
I know, I totally agree. And like, even I find myself, like, I see like an update or like a new interview or something, I'm just sort of like, I don't know if I really want to tap into that. And like, there was that video that made the rounds when they filmed that finale of like that random person like throwing the glass or whatever that was. And I was just like, I hope they don't resort to that kind of stuff just to like keep it interesting or change it up. I hope that, I know that was a random person, so I think that the cast is better than that. But like, I don't know. I just hope it's not like a full Scandal season. If the first couple episodes are about that, great. But we need some other dynamics happening for it to be another good season of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, I agree. Are you going to be visiting something about her?
I'd love to visit something about her. I support women in business, baby.
Yes. We just need them to open it up.
I had those chips at BravoCon.
I had the chips too. Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm like, maybe at this point, I don't know what's going on. But I'm like, maybe they're waiting for Dancing with the Stars to be over. Maybe they're waiting for 2024, the start of the new season. I don't know.
It seems so optimistic, and everybody.
I'm trying to think the best.
I know, because we were all like, oh, it's going to open before Schwartz and Sandy's. And then now it's like the same thing where it's just being dragged out. And I'm like, we are ready to get our paninis.
Give us our paninis in January when the show premieres. Time it to that. Get like capitalize on that extra excitement again. That's what they should be doing. So they have 2 months or a month and a half. Let's go.
I agree. Well, Gibson, again, let everybody know where they can catch your new podcast, listen, subscribe, all the things.
Yes, my new podcast is called Gabbing with Gib. 2 episodes a week, interviews on Tuesdays, and pop culture discussions on Fridays. We've got some great guests. Go follow us. Go check it out. It's been really fun. And Zach, this was also very fun. Thank you for having me.
Listen, I'm a fun time.
You are. You are. And I respect you for saying things that everyone else is thinking.
It gets me in trouble.
It's a gift. It's a gift, though. It's a gift.
It gets me in trouble, really, but listen, I can't help but be who I is.
Yes, exactly. And this was so much fun.
Thank you. Where can people follow you on all the social medias?
At Gibsonoma, Gibsonoma, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
There you go. Go give Gibson some love. Gabbing with Gib. Listen to it on your favorite podcast platform. Leave him a nice podcast review because those reviews are helpful. They are free to give, and they just, we want to spread the love. So go show Gibson some love right now. Go follow him on Twitter. He's always got some good takes over there. He doesn't pop off nearly as much as I do. So if you need to balance out my crazy tweets,
we balance each other out. That's good. That's a good way to say it.
You guys can follow me at Just Plain Zack all over the internet or at No Filter with Zack to keep up with all the latest podcast news on Instagram. Catch No Filter Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays with bonus episodes every Friday for No Filter Plus members on Apple Podcasts. And as I mentioned before, Donna Bowling from the Daily Dose of Donna show will be doing Real Housewives of Beverly Hills recaps with me when it returns in December. Or actually, not when it returns, but when it drops on Netflix, seasons 1 and 2. We're going to be doing a rewatch party, so get ready for that. All right, guys, have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. New bonus members only episode dropping on Friday, so get ready for it. Bye.